Hello everyone, welcome to the Square Hub Real Estate Team channel. We are a real estate team based out of Victoria, British Columbia. Today we're diving into a topic that's been making waves here in British Columbia, the new Short-Term Rental Accommodations Act. If you're involved in the rental market or just curious about the latest changes in housing regulations, this video is for you. With a rise of short-term rentals like those listed on platforms such as Airbnb and VRBO, BC has introduced new laws to manage this growing sector. These regulations aim to address various aspects of short-term rentals, from enforcement to new requirements for property listings. We'll be walking through what these new laws mean, who they apply to, and the timeline for when different parts of the Act will come into effect. Remember, our goal here is to present the facts clearly and objectively without taking sides. So let's get started and break down what you need to know about these new regulations. The Short-Term Rental Accommodations Act introduced several significant changes aimed at regulating short-term rentals more effectively. As of May 1st, 2024, the Act implemented a principal residence requirement, which means short-term rentals are now generally limited to the host's principal residence plus one secondary suite or accessory dwelling unit on the same property. This principal residence requirement was designed to ensure that short-term rentals do not divert much-needed housing away from long-term residents. However, it's worth noting that this rule does not apply everywhere. Different areas may have specific regulations, so checking the local requirements is crucial. Additionally, the Act removed non-conforming use protections for short-term rentals starting May 1st, 2024. Previously, these protections allowed short-term rentals to continue despite local bylaws, but now short-term rental operations must align more closely with local regulations and zoning laws. In the next part, we'll delve into further aspects of the Act, including new requirements for business licenses and enhanced enforcement tools for local governments. Stay tuned to understand the complete impact of these regulations on short-term rentals in BC. As of May 1st, 2024, the Short-Term Rental Accommodations Act also introduced several new requirements to enhance regulation and enforcement. One of the key updates was the mandate for short-term rental hosts to display a valid business license number on their listings where required by local governments. This change aimed to increase transparency and ensure that all short-term rentals are operating within the legal framework set by their respective municipalities. Additionally, the Act improved platform accountability. If a listing does not comply with the business license requirements, short-term rental platforms are now required to remove those listings at the request of local governments. This measure is designed to help enforce local regulations more effectively and ensure compliance across various online platforms. Another significant development was the introduction of data sharing between the province and local governments. Starting in May 2024, short-term rental platforms must provide information about listings on a monthly basis to assist local authorities in enforcing bylaw regulations. This data sharing is confidential and aims to support better oversight without public disclosure of individual rental details. The Act also saw an increase in fines and ticketing authority. Regional districts can now impose fines up to $50,000 for bylaw offenses, and municipalities can set ticketing fines up to $3,000 per infraction per day. This increase in penalties is intended to deter non-compliance and ensure that short-term rental operations adhere to local regulations. In summary, the Short-Term Rental Accommodations Act represents a significant shift in how short-term rentals are regulated in British Columbia. With the introduction of the principal residence requirement, stricter enforcement measures, and enhanced data sharing, the Act aims to bring greater oversight and compliance to the short-term rental market. The requirement for business licenses, the increase in fines, and the establishment of a provincial registry are all steps designed to ensure that short-term rentals are operating within the legal framework and to assist local governments in managing their housing markets effectively. It's important to note that while these changes are intended to address regulatory challenges and improve oversight, the specifics of how they will impact individual situations can vary. If you have any questions about how these new regulations might affect you or your short-term rental property, it is always best to consult with a legal or financial professional who can provide advice tailored to your specific circumstances. Please remember that we are not legal or financial experts, and the information provided here is for general understanding. Laws and regulations can change, so consulting with a qualified professional is always recommended to ensure you are fully informed and compliant with current regulations. If you have any questions about real estate or short-term rental regulations in British Columbia, please feel free to reach out by visiting our website. The link is in the video description as well as the About section of our YouTube channel. We know that navigating new regulations can be challenging, and we are here to help you through the process with no surprises.